How does Germany and the UAE treat high performers and successful individuals? Now, that is a very interesting topic because one of the main reasons I left Germany is especially because I didn't feel comfortable anymore and not well supported by Germany and the government for being a high performer in life, making a lot of money and willing to live a good lifestyle. The taxes, the way the infrastructure and the bureaucracy is built up, high performers and successful people are leaving Germany every day. And that has a reason. And this reason for me especially was, again, because of very high taxes, no support, too much bureaucracy. There's no exception really in the culture for very successful people in a specific, let's say, online business, trading, like these new money things, right? So I felt like I'm not welcome there anymore. I felt like every time I have more than someone else, they will look down at me. And there's a story that someone told me once, and they're very, very right, and you need to choose in life. He said, look around you in Germany. Do you see very expensive cars? No. Do you see people have a flashy lifestyle, like for example in Dubai and the UAE? Do you see people drive Ferraris? Most of the times, no. Germany is a country to be the same as everyone else, to be average. And that is okay if that's what you want. It always depends on where you come. It's beautiful. Some people are so happy if they have their normal income, a good house, they pay their taxes, they're happy, it's good, right? But for high performance, it's complete disaster. It's complete disaster. That's why they're all leaving, and Germany needs to do better in the future on keeping its highest assets, because these are the ones that pay most of the taxes. Business owners, very successful and high performing people, they are leaving because they are not allowed to show their lifestyle. They're not even safe most of the times nowadays to show this lifestyle, because you could get robbed, you could get broken into, people will demolish your things. Like I experienced many times that my car was demolished and scratched when I parked it somewhere in Frankfurt in a main city, right? Just because in Germany there's a lot of this hatred against rich people. And you don't have this in the UAE. So the UAE is welcoming for high performers, has very advantageous regulations and conditions when it comes to taxes. It's very easy and very fast to actually open a company and open new companies, right? So that gives a very big, very big advantage for the UAE. And that's also the main reason why I left Germany back in the times. Again, if you want a normal average life, Germany is perfect. As soon as you are above average, it will be very difficult. There are some spots you can still live in Germany, like Munich, Stuttgart, some areas. Like there's everywhere in every city, there are certain areas where the successful live and the ones with the big companies and everything, but they're mostly for themselves. And it's very difficult to get into these circles, whether here in the UAE, these successful individuals are open to connect, because that's what got them successful in the first place. Mindset difference on very successful people when they view UAE and Germany is especially because of these reasons. I know a lot of my friends that are very successful that left Germany to the UAE in the last couple of years, and they all say the same. It's too much taxes, nothing is happening, there's no future, bureaucracy, sometimes even this liberal stuff that is pushed into kids' kindergarten, whatever, is what they don't want for their kids. I don't have kids yet, but that's also for the future why I left Germany, because I'm completely against this liberal stuff. I'm against flags and I'm against impacting kids, deciding about their sex and whatever. They should go into school and they should learn good things, like in the UAE, and not liberalism. So that are the main reasons why people left. Money and success in the UAE is viewed as something that everyone wants. Money and success is something that people naturally have here in Dubai. You need to understand Dubai is a very high level place, right? Everyone looks very good, everyone is jacked, everyone has their life in order, everyone has money, everyone invests, everyone has all of these things, right? Whether in Germany, obviously it's a more, again, different target. It's more average, it's more normal, it's more like everyone just is normal. Whether I would say Germany, to be very honest guys, Germany is not normal anymore. It's below normal, and we know that, right? Like Germany that I know, we are very much below that right now at this current state. So let's not maybe compare in that sense, because here UAE wins 100% again, right? I'm not saying that in Germany success and money is not viewed as good as in the UAE, but there is a big difference, to be honest. And the difference is that the normal people here in the UAE, they welcome success. They want to see you successful. They want to see you money. There's a lot of happiness, right? And in Germany, there's a lot of hatred towards successful people, especially if they're young, how I felt. Especially if they are not 100% German as I am, right? I came from somewhere else. I don't look like fully German. So there is a certain hatred and a certain negative emotion towards very successful people. And there is definitely a certain, let's say, vibe. Once you have something that other people don't have, people will look down to you, people will make comments. You don't, I can give you so many countless stories over the last years when I went back to Germany. And since I'm very successful, obviously a certain type of cars, a certain way I dress, normal. For me, this is normal, right? But for them, it's not. And they give you comments, they look at you strange, they look down at you, they interact with you very badly. Sometimes they even get violent. So you don't have that here, not at all, right? In Germany, you are called names for driving a nice car, right? People yell out of the window across the street, and all of these normal comments like, oh, you don't need this, blah, blah, blah. I sort of remember once I was driving in a smaller village, and I had a Lamborghini Urus, a yellow one. And I know it's over the top for Germany, right? But I was driving it normally, had my windows down, and there were 3 ladies on the side walking, and they said very lightly, who needs this? You know? It's like, bro, shut up. Like, just like, you know, like, there's this, like, Germans will understand. There's this, I even wanted to start to speak German right now. But there's this German mouth, this German language where they don't want to see you win, right? They hate and they shit on that at the end of the day, right? And that's every German that watches this will smile because they know it's true. I'm not saying everyone is like that, but Germany is very nagging. Germans are very, you know, most of the times talking down on these kind of things, like who needs this, why do you have this is too much, this is too loud, you know. Again, average. If you're average, you are their best friends, you know. You fit into society, everything is good. As soon as you have something that they don't have, there will be, let's say, difficulties, right? And there will be people calling you out for that, and that's very unfortunate. So you don't feel very safe and you don't feel very welcomed to enjoy your success. I see the future of the UAE in Germany the next 20 years, especially very positive for the UAE, right? I think we will have a lot of people coming. Dubai is currently at 3 or 4 million. I think it will go to 5 or 6 and even more. That's their plans. UAE in general will be very, very attractive, right? It is leading in many, many things, in technology, in education, in the company like infrastructure, in lifestyle, in food and beverage. If you want something that is number one, you come to the UAE. Whether safety, stability, and the government is very, very stable here in the UAE, which most people would not think, because people think it's a dictatorship, women have no rights, there's so many human rights problems here. I feel like people are treated better here, and I feel a woman has a better and more safe life here, and I feel like families and kids grow up better here, and I feel on a daily basis, if I walk around in Germany compared to the UAE, I feel 100,000 times more safer, and I see that there's a future here and there's a plan. Dubai has rules, morals, and set plans for the future on what they want to do. Decision making is very, very fast if needed because it's a dictatorship. It can directly be ordered and done. Whether in Germany, where we have bureaucracy, energy crisis, too high rents, inflation, too many taxes, and basically everyone is unhappy. So I don't really know where Germany is going to go in the next 10 to 20 years. Currently, it seems to be very, very negative. That's why I'm recording these videos, because I want people to be aware and start to think about and change something, right? And if people start to think and change, then there's a chance to change the country, because who runs the country? It's the people. And if people change and say it's a limit here, we're not going to go further, right, and vote the right parties into, let's say, into leadership roles, that they hopefully will do that, right? But Germany has a lot to work. Germany has institutions and taxes for everything that no one needs. It just makes everything more complicated, right? Tax cuts, there needs to be a more efficient way of taxes. Then we need to talk about its law. Germany has one of the most laws in action right now. There's laws that come out every day, but there's no laws they get rid of, really, right? So there's a lot of things, a lot of, let's say, complications. There's a lot of bureaucracy. There's a lot of inefficient ways that need to be first cleared up before this country can go into a more stable future. Whether compared Germany to many other countries, it still offers very much stability. But compared to the UAE, it's very, very difficult. It's like I'm comparing a Porsche GT3 with a Fiat Punto. It's like, it's a car, yes, but you know, like, it's funny that I'm saying Porsche because Porsche comes from Germany, you know. There's so many great things about Germany, guys. Quality, cars, these things. I love German brands. There's so much good in Germany. But when it comes to especially these points, life, stability, future, leadership, the way of living, the interaction with people, success, yeah, there's no way how Germany I see is going to change that in the next couple of years. It will take some time, but hopefully it will. When it comes to especially safety, many people say the UAE is the safest place on earth, and so far I can sign that with a check because it is true. I have never had any difficulties here. I feel 100% safe. Nowhere where I ever went I had any problem but once, and that was with a British person. But we know what happens with British people sometimes when they come to different countries and drink a little bit too much beer. But yeah, in Germany, you constantly have safety issues. You constantly have problems. You constantly need to be careful. You constantly have issues when it comes to, at the end of the day, walking around, especially in big cities, at certain hours, you don't want to be there. We are talking here about so many cases of rape, of sexual assault, of calling, or catcalling, or whatever you call this. There's so many things that you constantly hear, but also not only hear, because it's not only about hearing, right, and what is presented in the media, but the feeling is definitely different, right? So I don't feel very safe in Germany, to be honest, and I've been in some of the most hostile countries in this planet Earth where you also don't feel safe. But Germany is a more random, unsafe kind of feeling because you don't know what you're doing in very violent places. If you mess with the wrong person or you do certain things, then you will have a problem. Where in Germany, you can just walk around, have a good day, and from one to another second, it becomes violent just because you looked in a certain way, just because you dressed in a certain way, just because this person on cross of the road has a problem or an issue, right? So there's a lot of hostile experiences that you have in Germany when it comes to safety, and Germany is obviously, especially compared to the last years, not as safe anymore as it used to be. And reason for that is not only immigration, but it's also just in general that in Germany there's a lack of culture, right? There's a mix of culture. There's no real feeling of culture anymore. And it's very true that if you, at the end of the day, you are not amongst the same of your kin, you will treat them different, right? Whether in the UAE, everyone feels like they are part of the UAE. It's not like I'm a German living in UAE. I'm a German, or half German, half Portuguese, but I feel like I am someone that belongs to the UAE, you know what I mean? So Dubai makes it very easy to very fast feel like you are a person of this country, right? Whether in Germany, that's so difficult to do. I don't know what the issue for that is. Maybe we can talk about that in another video. It's very interesting, but that's why they always say this integration is failing. To be very honest, and I don't want to offend anyone, but I hear more Arabic in Germany than in the UAE, and that's a fact. When I'm in Germany, I hear more people speaking Arabic than people here in the UAE, guys, and that's an Arabian country. So it's just wild, and I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, but it is very difficult, and Germany is not as safe as it was before, 100%, and that's not based on statistic and news, that's only based on my experience. When it comes to the government control and how free you actually feel in the country, because especially many people say about Dubai and believe these cliches about being a dictatorship, you're not free to do these things. Also here again, guys, and I'm not doing any propaganda for the UAE, I don't get money for that, I would wish, I would wish if I would get money for that, but there's no benefit for me shitting on Germany or talking too good about the UAE, it's just my experience, guys, and I'm a very honest person and I don't give a shit what other people say and think about it. And to be very honest, I feel more free in a dictatorship and in a police state compared to Germany that is a supposed democracy. And that by far, the safety we just talked about. Just in general, how I can express myself. Now, obviously what I cannot do, which I actually think is a good rule, is I cannot go on the internet and hate someone. In Dubai, in the UAE, you are not allowed to hate against anyone. In that sense, people would say freedom of speech is definitely not guaranteed in the UAE as it would be in a democracy. But to be very honest, there's so many cases in Germany over the last years where people openly used their freedom of speech and they were attacked afterwards, they were taken down afterwards, they were controlled afterwards, they were having big issues, right? So I don't see a big difference. Whether here I feel more free to do what I want to do, actually. I feel free but also secure at the same time, with respecting the government, the leadership, which I have nothing to say against negative anyways, because they do their very best and you can feel it every day to lead for the people and not against the people and for themselves, whether I feel like that's what is happening in Germany. Everyone is just trying to take. I think it's a perfect way of explaining that. Germany is a country that feels like everyone comes to take from the country. If it's in the politics, if it's in a business, if it's in a service area, if it's in people, if it's in people moving to Germany, everyone just wants to suck out of Germany but doesn't want to give anything, right? In the UAE, it feels different. It feels like everyone wants to give something. And therefore, I feel more free here. And I don't see any difference in my freedom of speech because I'm not like a negative person. I will not hate anything on the internet, and I will not, and I will just like say my experience, right? This video, some people will say I'm hating on Germany. No, I'm not hating on Germany or on the UAE. These are just facts, and I think people are very uneducated about that, and they think that in the UAE, compared to a first world country, a westernized country, which westernized countries always stand for freedom, I don't feel that there's freedom of speech there. I know many cases where people got jeopardized and in big trouble for being honest and talking about the freedom. You get shit on constantly by everything you say, and here in the UAE, this is not allowed. It's not allowed to speak against the government. It's not allowed to speak against any companies. You can win in a court case against anything, yes, but you cannot go onto the internet or defame someone. These are things that you cannot do here, and I think this is a very, very good rule. Why, even if you have very bad problems, why would you defame someone? There's solutions, there's customer support, there's experience support, there's consumer rights, all of these things UAE also has where you can solve issues, as I also already have solved issues, or Anita, my girlfriend, has solved issues with them regarding some things, right? So at the end of the day, you know, there's so many examples I can give, but I truly feel more free here. And I also feel like there are more rules in the UAE compared to Germany in that sense, on behavior, on also with the religion, but I feel like it's better. It's more like a red line you can follow. You know what to do and you know what not to do. In Germany, you feel like you can do whatever you want, but every time you do something, you get beaten on your fingers. So I don't know, it feels very, it's a feeling thing. I feel that the UAE gives a more free lifestyle compared to Germany. If you follow the rules, obviously, and you can get into trouble with things that you're not even allowed to do in Germany, which I like. I like that things are higher punished than in Germany. People pay higher fees in general for speeding, for things that they do here. Drugs and all of these things, alcohol, there's zero tolerance for that. And I love that. I love that because at the end of the day, that is a big part of the safetiness, and where you have normal and clean interactions, whether at some point in Germany, especially on the weekend, there's drunk people everywhere and they are annoying as hell. I have nothing against people drinking alcohol. There are people here in the UAE that drink alcohol, but they do it in a certain area, in a hotel, in a bar, in a restaurant, and then they go home. And if they are walking around drunk outside, they will get prison for a day, right? So they know how it is. You're not allowed to do that. They are very, very, very focused on their image, but also on how you feel as a person, and they want you always to feel safe and have good experiences, and I don't see that in Germany, right? So I think the government and their rules and laws and the dictatorship / police state / democracy, I see more benefits here. I see a more efficient government. I see better leadership by His Highness Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum and the family and bin Zayed family, many other families here in the UAE that make this possible. And you truly see that they care about their people. Are they perfect? No. Do they make mistakes? Yes, 100%, right? There's no perfect country, but UAE is damn close to it.